Hello everyone, this is Shokora Zouheikyoku aka chocomint, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Delphine Discovery. In the last episode, we have a heart-to-heart between Delphine and Day. And now this time, we will continue on our journey to figure out the mysteries of the mission. So, let's continue. Once the two of us make our way back to the office, I take a look around to make sure nothing has been touched. The books are a little out of place, the desk drawers slightly open, and the coffee still warm just as I had left it all. Day collapsed onto the red couch and kicks his feet up lazily, twisting slightly to see me standing in front of the bookcase. Alright, what do we got? A lot. You missed quite a bit. Catch me up. Well, for starters, that coffee was warm when I got in here. Know anything about that? Warm coffee? That's kind of weird. Is it freshly poured? See for yourself. I motioned to the tea set on the table. They walks towards it, cautiously peering over one of the cups. I can kind of see some smoke coming from the cups if I get real close. And the smell is so strong. Almost as if it was recently poured. To think of it, didn't you smell coffee in the bedroom? I did, but there was none inside down there. Who else is at the manor besides the security guard? Do you think he comes in here and has his coffee? That guy outside? Absolutely not. He's terrified of the place. I've never seen him step foot inside. Do droids pour coffee? Right. A droid came in here on its own and poured a nice glass of coffee for us. They deliver packages, don't they? Yes, but making drinks is something else entirely. I'm baffled, honestly, because I haven't heard anyone else while we've been here. The manor isn't that big. Maybe it's some kind of science things to do with room temperature or something. I'm not banking on it. I shake my head slightly. And don't say it's a ghost. I don't think a ghost would pour some coffee. Let's move on. We can come back to this later. My next finding concerns the desk. The nameplate outside the door says Miss Harkin, and given that this doesn't look like a bedroom, it must be her office. Okay, I'm following. This is definitely an office. Shouldn't offices have papers? I imagine there'll be files for all of the orphans who work up here. It looks like the drawer was cleaned out. That's kind of weird, right? Is there another place where files would possibly be kept? Adoptions would take place in the headmaster's office, so I'm sure the files would be here. If there's no files, that's really strange. Okay, two strange things on our list. I don't like that. Earlier you said you cleaned this room. Is that the truth or we're trying to shut me off? I've cleaned it before, yes, but I've never taken papers out of the drawers or poured coffee. Yeah, that's what I thought. Strange thing number 3. What about the bookcase? You said something about a secret door, right? There are hinges on the bookcase. Shokora thinks it's a secret engine. I don't know what we'll find in there, but if I have to guess, I think it'll be a big part of our investigation. What are you waiting for then? Let's crack it open. Dave finally straightens up from his seat on the couch and walks over to the bookcase. Oh, I see the hinges. Cleverly hidden. but apparently not clever enough. Can you get it open? Maybe I just wasn't strong enough. I can try. They tugs on the other end of the bookshelf with enough force to knock some of the books over. Nope, this bad boy is also tough. Let me try something else. He takes the remaining books out, rearranges them, and even kicks the bookshelf, all to no avail. Okay, I've got nothing. Shokora said there could be a puzzle or something. A puzzle? Do you know how late it is? I don't want to solve any puzzles. He grunts. It might not be that complex. Do you think it was common to have some kind of special lock to hide important things? Like the entire secret rooms? I never thought of it myself, but I'm sure it would definitely be possible. Kind of like the hidden drawer in their bedrooms. Oh, that gives me an idea. The lock could be hidden in plain sight. That way we may not even notice it. They agrees with me. That is a good idea, and together the two of us search for something. Anything that could be helpful, but it's no use. After a good 20 minutes, the two of us collapse onto the couch together. I bury my face in my hands while Dave drapes his arm around the top of the couch. Now what? Maybe there isn't a secret room back there after all. Shokora said so. Yeah, but like you said about the transport droids, they can't replace people. The knowledge can be wrong. Certainly, but there's hinges on the bookcase. Why else would that be? Decorations. You can barely see them. Let me try something else. I take out my phone and begin scrolling through apps, much to the curiosity of my investigative partner. I stop at the notepad and wave it around his face. What is this? Memo. Wrong voice. What is this? The memo app on my phone. You're going to be the strike. What? I'm going to pretend this is one of those elaborate escape rooms. We're solving a puzzle. I'll tell you the names of all the books and you write them down. Okay, then what? Then we read them together and try to see if perhaps there's a clue. Alright, how do I write on this thing? Just use your finger. When you tap the screen, the eraser will pop up. I stand up and head over to the bookshelf. First we have... Got all that? When I'm done reading off all the names, I walk over to Dave, who pulls my phone close to his chest. I might have missed one or two. That's okay. We can go over what we have and see what's missing. I take a seat on the couch by Dave and hold my hand out for my phone. Dave plops it into my palm with a satisfied smirk. What is this? It's a nice drawing though. It's really a nice drawing, but I cry out when I see what Dave had spent the last 10 minutes doodling. On the black and white line notepad app is a sketch of a dolphin. A very nice sketch. I'm honestly quite surprised by it. The lines are a bit jagged on some of the edges, but it's impressive for a sketch nonetheless. In the center of the drawing is my name in scratchy text. It looks like Dave tried to fill the letters in. At the very bottom is Dave's signature in similar font, with a little heart. Do you like it? Oh, that's a cute smile. I do. But I have to stay strong. Wow, no, Dave is only kidding around. We're almost at the turning point of our investigation. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, Delphine.
Oh my! I mean, come on, be a little more angry. Be angrier at this. I guess you're weak for handsome, cute boys, especially being hair boys.
It's cute, sure, but that isn't what I told you to do today.
I know. I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Distracted by a notepad?
Not by the notepad, by you. Ooh! Oh my!
Me?
Yeah, you looked really focused. I thought it was kind of cute. But I'm not an artist, so a fancy portrait was out of the question. I did the next best thing.
A dolphin?
A little dolphin. Ooh! Ooh, guys! Ooh! You're very, distracted right now. Ooh!
Right, of course. Dave frowns at my silence.
I'm sorry.
I can't be mad at him for this. He wasn't focusing on the task at hand, but the drawing was a sweet gesture nevertheless. I'm willing to overlook it, but only because that was a good drawing.
I used a flip something. It was like a sticker.
Flip art, grandpa.
Sure, Miss has a drone.
I chuckle as I collapse onto the couch again, not before saving the image that they drew for me. It does feel good to be off my feet for a few minutes, but the two of us are none for the better.
Shall we try again?
For what? It might be more time and effort wasted on something we're not even certain about. Out of frustration, I kick my leg up and into the table. The teacups shake a bit and some coffee spills out onto the plates that sit up top. This sucks. My words stop as I hear a shrieking sound. The bookcase opens slowly, making a lot of noise as it does so. What? I cry out as I jump to my feet. Is it really opening?
Yeah, you did it. Looks like there was a lever or something under the table.
No way it was that simple.
You did say it could be right in the oven, remember?
But not that open. Whatever, we take these wins. I drop to my knees and peer under the table for what could be possibly unlock the door and see a little switch on the underside of the table. I guess me kicking it unlocked the door. That's serendipitous.
You ready to see what's in there?
You really have no idea.
Nope.
Guess it'll be a mystery to us all. Shokora, you ready? Yes, Miss Delphine. The three of us enter the hidden room and I'm smacked with the stale musty smell of old blood and dust buildup. There's also another scent, a hint of something I can't identify. It's pungent, resembling some kind of chemical. I scrunch up my nose in disgust as I take in a gruesome sight in the middle of the room. There's a skeleton hunched over a stack of papers, cradling it like a child. Blood is splattered on the walls, the floor, and the sparse furniture decorating the room. I gasp aloud, taking a step back, nearly bumping into Day in the process. Okay, let's check. Oh, wow, that's a lot of blood. Okay, let's continue. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
Day's words are a low rumble, shaking as they leave his lips. Is it really okay?
Well, at least they don't draw the skeleton there. That would be extra spooky.
The color leaving Day's face and the look of pure shock in his eyes betray his sentiment. The reality of the situation finally settles in. This is more than anything I had planned for when leaving my house tonight. The crime scene that they had sworn he didn't want the orphanage to be remembered as is sprawled out right in front of us like a centerfold in a magazine. My heartbeat begins to speed up, and for the first time tonight, I'm terrified. An uneasiness settles on my heart. One that Dave seems to be feeling as well. Without his toothy grin and jovial tone, I have nothing to hold on to. Our thrilling night of banter, investigation, and getting to know one another begins to sizzle away right in front of my eyes. I almost feel like a terrible person for indulging in any of that, while the skeleton has remained hidden and forgotten for decades. Day?
What the hell was this?
Day's earlier surprise has morphed into anger as he balls his hands into fists and nearly growls. Instinctively, I take a small step backwards.
This can't be right.
What do you mean? I'm sure my voice is small and timid, but it's all I can muster in this moment. Day wraps his arms around himself.
This room doesn't look like it was ever in good shape. It's like a dungeon.
The dark stone walls, the cold cement flooring, the lack of furniture, and of course the skeleton spelled the idea out clear as day. You think this room was always used as a dungeon?
I don't know about a dungeon, literally, but definitely not anything good.
Just as Day finishes his thought, a loud bang reverberates through the room. I instantly covered my ears with my hands, shutting my eyes tightly.
It's just a door. It's closed behind us.
Oh no, are we stuck? My eyes flutter open when I hear Day's footsteps approach the door. It doesn't take many attempts to figure out that we're locked in. That's not good. I could call someone for help, maybe?
I wouldn't unless we're in immediate danger. We're just passing, remember?
Yeah, I guess you're right. The option is there if we need it, though.
For now, I say we investigate what's in here. Maybe there's another lever or something.
Right, good idea.
But for now, I need a minute to process everything.
I'll tell you anything interesting that I find.
Thank you.
Day heads to the doorway and leans against the frame. Shokora, activate the investigation macro, please. Certainly, Delphine. As the room is rather small, it only takes a few moments for Shokora to successfully run the macro. Though as it projects the image, I'm a little shocked.
What is it?
The background mirrors the room we're standing in exactly. This hasn't been the case in any other projection. Does that rule out the idea of a failsafe set by Technia? Or did they not account for us stumbling upon the secret? Whatever the case, I don't have time to dwell on it now. Shokora is quick to shake me from my task.
What would you like more information about?
That's a good point for a safe. Now we have papers and skeletons. I'm more partial towards the skeleton. I mean, not the skeleton, the papers. Since we are not doctors or professionals related to human bones or biological something, so papers should be a good point to start. So let's go for the papers first. I made my way over to the stack of papers. The skeleton is right over the bio as if hugging it for dear life. As I get closer, I realize that I have to move the poor skeleton over to get a better look at the contents of the papers. I turn to look at Day, who is leaning against the wall with his eyes shut. Day, how should I go about moving this thing? His eyes flutter open slowly and he frowns at me. I suppose you'll just be gentle with it. You're dealing with someone's remains, you know. Yeah. I gently move the skeleton's arm first and place it on the ground, then the other arm and finally the head. By the end of it, my hands are full of dust. And I'm kind of traumatized too. Like, in my life, I've never thought that I would touch a real life skeleton in this way. Like, there's that skeletal bones you see in the biology lab in my school, but not this real life. Gross. I'm sorry. I really didn't think we'll find a skeleton when I asked you to come into the manor with me. Also, those two are less panicked than I expected. Like, they did see a skeleton in the open, but they're not, like, too panicked. I guess it was expected that this place is a crime scene in the past, so they should not be more panicky. And also the criminal, a true criminal killer or something like that, is not there. So I guess that could be the reason. It's okay. Not like you killed this person, right? Right. Still, it's a bit much, don't you think? I'm the worst at first dates.
What girl doesn't want to be swept away by a murder investigation?
Okay. If that's the case, I don't think I can top this next time. But enough of that. What do the papers say?
Alright. Okay, right. Dave's footsteps are quiet as he approaches me. The two of us kneel down and look at the papers. I probably shouldn't be touching this.
Why not?
I should get the cops involved. This is a crime scene evidence. I'm tensing it.
You think this is better left to the police? They didn't do much for this case when it happened.
I mean, it was years ago. Protocols are different now, and we have better technology.
I'd rather know the truth ourselves before it's right under the rug. You already told me that you don't know much about what happened here. That's not a coincidence. Whatever scandal happened regarding this back then wouldn't affect now, would it?
Whoops. Whatever scandal happened regarding this back then wouldn't affect now, would it?
Depends on what we find out.
That's a scary thought. What could be so significant that it'll tarnish interest even now? I turn my attention to the papers in front of me. There's got to be over 200 pages stacked haphazardly. Some documents are sticking out from the pile with the corners folded, while others are turned horizontally. These don't look very organized.
Like perhaps someone took them in a rush?
What gives you the idea?
You said the drawers were completely empty.
Yeah, I thought it was weird, but the drawers weren't left open. They were closed.
So maybe the person who took the papers didn't want people to notice anything suspicious, hence the coffee being out.
But the coffee was still warm. I spent that day.
I really can't. Still, it doesn't change what I was getting at. The documents were cleared from the desk and brought here in a hurry. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
I'm guessing the papers are job records from Miss Harkin's desk. Those would be pretty valuable and need protecting.
I take the first document from the stack and look it over. There's a lot of legal jargon, but these don't look like job records at all. Unless job records talk about the property's worth, I don't think so. I point to a spot on the paper, signed by the late Mr. Otome himself.
What is this?
I believe this is what a house deed looks like. Mr. Otome was leasing the place to Miss Harkin.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
My eyes scan the page, stopping at a significantly large number. Oh my gosh! She paid so much to operate this place. $500,000? This lady must have been loaded.
No way. That's impossible.
It says it right here. Say, look. I slide the paper towards him.
What else do these papers say?
I flip through more pages from the stack, stopping when I come across a contract. I scan it quickly and shake my hand. This is Miss Harkin's contract with Mr. Otome for working here. It says that she's legally responsible for anything that happens here. My finger traces the dense paragraph, the words becoming increasingly difficult to understand. Why do I feel like this is all muddled and complicated on purpose? I wonder if Miss Harkin knew what she was getting into.
Is that bad?
Definitely. This contract says that if the orphanage were to negatively be in the public eye, Miss Harkin would owe more than the $500,000 she paid to rent out the place. Why would she sign this? It's absolute trash. Day is silent. He shakes his head and lets out a grunt of anger.
What the hell? None of this makes sense.
You know what I think? If Miss Harkin thought that something was going to happen at the orphanage, she'll hide the papers away so Mr. Otome couldn't find them.
With a deal like this, why wouldn't Otome have a backup?
Well, if he did have copies, maybe there's public court records. If Miss Harkin died, then her family would inherit the debt. I would certainly say this place has a bad reputation.
Yeah, a $500,000 one.
Shokora, can you search if the Otome family has any court documents on record? Specifically with anyone with the last name Harkin?
One moment, please. Searching archives.
Day and I wait in painful silence until finally Shokora finishes their search. General Artino won a case against the Harkin family for $650,000. What was the reason they were in court? Breach of contract, defamation of character, and attempted theft.
That's a lot, but it does sound like a case.
It does indeed. I need some time to think the information over now.
Me too.
Let's reconvene in a bit. The two of us part ways briefly and return to what we were doing on our own. Skeleton. Okay, I can look at the skeleton too. Good. I approached the skeleton and knelt down by it to get a closer look. With Shokora's flashlight shining on it, I can see a lilac purple blazer, white undershirt, and a red pin on the front pocket. The pants are a matching purple, making the whole thing look gaudy. Shokora, would you be able to identify this person?
One moment, please. Searching archives.
A news story was found matching the location and outfit. Shall I read the
sir? Yes, please. This is the first time that I'm looking into official news reports about the Little Boys Orphanage. Admittedly, my searches in the past haven't proven too successful.
6 staff members and 20 children aged between 5 and 14 were killed in a targeted attack at the Little Boys Orphanage.
Targeted attack?
Shall I continue?
Yes, go on.
Sources close to the Ottino family who own the manor say that a 23-year-old former staff member unleashed gas into the orphanage after a young girl he had grown close to was adopted. It is unclear if there was any predatory relationship between the child and the older male.
Anything about Miss Harkin?
Except obtained. I will read it to you.
Thank you.
Miss Harkin was a paragon for the institute's community. She worked to create a safe and welcoming home for children without parents, and it is said that to this day that during her last few minutes, she worked tirelessly to save as many people as possible. That's not right.
I hear Dave's voice behind me and I jump.
Huh?
That article makes it seem like Miss Harkin was trying to help the kids escape. That's not the case at all. She's on the ground right here.
Looking at the picture of the suit from the article, this really is Harkin. But what was she doing in this back room by herself?
The article said a gas was unleashed into the manor. So, is there any ventilation here that would let that gas in? Maybe she was hiding away to show herself.
With no kids and other staff in sight, she wasn't protecting anyone but herself. But from gas? I'm not sure. Would Harkin even have time to crawl in here in the middle of a gas attack?
I guess it depends on the gas, but I'm guessing your droid can't tell us.
I shake my head. No, unfortunately it cannot. But if you inhale a gas and are aware of it, you run out of the building not further into it. If the door closes like it did to us, she'll have no way out.
If she locked herself in here, whatever out there must have been way scarier.
Exactly. Let's not forget the blood. Maybe she died of an actual infection.
There isn't any on the floor near her, only the wolves.
They points to Harkin's coat.
No blood on the coat either.
This might really be a dungeon after all.
Let's hope not.
Dave frowns himself.
Could she have starved to death? Maybe Harkin couldn't open the door.
I wrap my arms around myself. Don't say that.
We're getting out, don't worry.
I like your confidence, but things aren't looking so promising right now. We're stuck in a room with a dead woman.
It's not hopeless. Let's recall what we learned and see if it makes any sense.
My tentative guess is that Harkin ran in here to hide from something happening in the manor, leaving the kids and all the staff to deal with it. And then, I guess she died somehow. Of course, that's speculation. The details in the middle can change.
Son of a bitch.
Dave paused his hands into fists as he had done earlier, anger taking over once again. It seems like he can't fight back his words any longer.
Harkin is a coward. Leaving those kids out there to die while she's brought here is pathetic. It was her job to protect them. They had no one else to rely on.
Dave lets out his words in an impassioned fury. For a moment, I swear I see a tear begin to form in the corner of his eye. He's beyond angry. This is really affecting him. See?
What?
He snaps at me, baring his teeth. I have to calm him down somehow and make sense of the situation. What should I say? I'm sorry, Day. Maybe it's not as it seems. Remain silent. I'm sorry, Day.
I mean, he is angry. So, let's be comforting. Because we don't know everything. So, let's not, speculate or anything.
I'm sorry, Day. I know you probably wanted things to turn out differently.
For once, I just wanted there to be someone who gave a fool about kids like me. Whether you're an orphan or a foster kid, it makes most difference. We want to be taken care of and loved like anyone else. People like Harkin make it very obvious that they don't feel like we're worth saving.
I can hear the pain in his voice as he struggles to fight back tears. Day is someone who has had to fight to be heard and understood for years. All he really wants is to be appreciated, but he must not have ever felt that way. I think you were saving.
You don't have to say that because I'm upset.
I wouldn't lie to you, Day. I haven't done that once, have I? He shakes his head.
You haven't. No.
Because I'm not a liar. When I say you're worth saving, I really mean it. I can't imagine what tonight would have been like without you.
Probably really boring.
He cracks a small smile. Exactly into up to the ante. I wouldn't make anyone else to be trapped in a secret room with.
Actually, you shouldn't be trapped in a secret room at all. But that works. You already know I'll say the damn thing about you.
Yeah, but it's still nice to hear it every once in a while, right? He nods his head.
Right. I'm sorry I snapped at you.
It's okay. You have a good reason for being upset.
Still, you're not my punching bag.
But I am your friend. So if you need to let out your feelings, I'm here.
Thank you.
Of course. Day and I spent a moment of silence together before going our separate ways and moving on to the next task. I begin to gather my thoughts when I hear a strange sound. It's low and foreboding at first, but then it grows increasingly louder as time ticks on. What is that? I began to cough as something fills my lungs. It's pungent, tickling my nose and burning my throat. Gas?
Wrong voice. Gas?
This must be how Harkin died. The truth begins to dawn on me. This room was built into Harkin's office as a gas job. Who or what was supposed to be leader in here, I'm not so sure of. But they and I are about to be the next victims.
We have to get out of here, now!
I see Day's petrified face for only a moment before the room begins to fill with heavy pitch fog, encircling the two of us. I reached out into the thick smoke to try and find Day, but there's nothing but hot, sticky air. I shout out in panic, trying to reach him with my voice. Though, as I inhale more smoke, my eyes begin to water, tears building up in them. Cough after cough lips my lip. If Day and I stay in here much longer, we'll no doubt die.
Don't talk. Opening your mouth will let in more gas.
I stagger in the direction of his voice, growing sluggish with each passing second. It feels as if I'm pulling an entire sled on my back as I inch closer and closer to Day. With what little strength I have left, I reach up to my face and cover my mouth and nose with my gloved hand.
I'm going to get us out of here.
There's voice, full of terror, makes me wince. This wasn't how our night was supposed to end. The door. The memory of what had happened earlier floods my mind. Even if I do manage to reach day, we're trapped.
Don't worry about the door. Just stay where you are and cover your mouth.
I stumble forward, tripping over the stack of papers and landing on the ground. Everything in the front of me starts to whir around like I'm on a merry-go-round. In a last-ditch effort to save myself, I began to crawl forward, stopping when I see the bright pink lights of day shoot a few inches ahead of me. Shokora called. But by now, it's too late. I've inhaled too much smoke.
Delphine!
These words of agony isn't the last thing I want to hear, but I suppose it's fitting in a place like this. Everything begins to dim and I know that means it's all over. When I open my eyes, I'm in a bed that certainly isn't mine, a very comfy bed. Despite my unfamiliar surroundings, I have no intention of getting up even as the bright light from the window beats down on my skin. A warm feeling sizzles inside my chest as I take in the sights of the cozy bedroom. There's a rocking chair with a blue and yellow cushion facing the bed. Has someone been watching over me? Next to the rocking chair is a rather large chest with an oversized teddy bear sticking out from it. There's a similar but much smaller bear on the end table to my right. This must be a child's room. Oh, wow. Cute bears.
Oh, good. You're awake.
I thought you were gonna. The voice, belonging to a young girl, is loud and clear, but I can't see her around anywhere. I jolt from the bed and look around for the origin of the voice. Huh? Who said that? You can hear me! Yes! Finally! I didn't think anyone would ever hear me again. The girl's voice is full of excitement and joy. It's hard not to want to hear more. I lean against the bed and look up at the ceiling as if that's where she could possibly be. Yes, I can hear you, but I don't see you. It's too much energy to keep you here and show myself.
I'm only a kid, you know.
Oh, I guess she's a ghost.
Energy?
What are you talking about?
Energy! We all have it and use it to do stuff, Dad.
Right, okay. Totally not confused.
I should start from the beginning then, huh?
That would probably be the best, yeah.
Okay, my name is Hera.
Hera? That's a beautiful name. Where have I heard it before? My brain feels a little hazy, like it's grasping for something that's no longer there.
Not as pretty as Delphine. Your name sounds like dolphin.
It means dolphin too.
I'm so jealous.
From the way the girl is speaking, it's obvious that she's very young. She can't be older than 12. Hera, how old are you?
I'm 10. Not as big as you and Big Brother Mars.
Moss. Like the guy from the other day and I found in the bedroom. My eyes widen in shock as I piece together the information. It's like a fog has been lifted from my mind as I recall earlier events. Wasn't I just in the room filled with gas? I place a hand on my chest. There's no pain or labor breathing. I'm completely fine. Which means... Oh my gosh, I'm dead, aren't I? That's why I can't see you.
For a big person, you're not being very calm. You're not dead. I am.
What?
I'm a ghost, silly.
No, I have inhaled too much gas. My mind is playing tricks on me.
No, Big Brother Moss saved you before that could happen. I'm watching you for him. Except he doesn't really know that.
Oh, so they is Moss. I wonder, did he survive because he got adopted, or was he somewhere else outside? Like picking up mushrooms or something? Maybe. Her voice trails off, leaving more than a little mystery in the air.
He never hears me, no matter how hard I try to call out to him. So, I'm watching you on my own. I think he'll be happy, especially now that you're awake. But you can talk to him. You see him and he sees you back. That's great news. I'll be able to talk to him, finally.
Her glee drowns out the important information she had dropped only a minute ago. I struggled to make sense of her words. Who's his Moss? Is he here too?
No, not right now. He's resting. Carrying you here was a lot of work for a ghost. He used up all his energy.
Wait, what? Is he not Day? Is Day a ghost? Wait. It would make sense if he jokes about a ghost when we first meet. But she can touch him, doesn't she? Or have they not touched before? I'm confused, but let's continue. A ghost saved my life. Despite my reactions to Day's teasing about ghosts, I never once felt the presence of one. I'm sorry. It's a lot to make sense of. Where is this Moss character? I want to talk to him.
He's not a stranger, you know. You've been traveling with him this whole time.
If I was traveling with Moss, I didn't know about it.
Of course you did. Big Bro Day Moss.
Oh, I see.
When she says her brother's full name aloud,
I'm struck with awe as a gut-wrenching feeling travels through my body. I'm finally understanding what she's actually saying. You mean Day? That's impossible. It's not a ghost.
Sure he is, same as me. But he has more energy, so he can do way cooler things. You know, like use his body, wrap things, and make the rooms really pretty. That's my favorite part.
I slowly take a seat onto the bed and pull my legs up to my chest. Slowly, I rock back and forth as I let Hera's words wash over me. I refuse to believe it.
What's wrong?
If this is true, your brother lied to me. I shut my eyes and think about the night he and I shared together. There have always been things I couldn't explain when it came to Day. He knew an awful lot about the orphanage, and even shared a similar past as the children who lived there. He could sneak up on me quite easily because I never heard him approaching. He knew exactly where the letter, addressed to Moss, was, and he went out of his way to clean the bedrooms, which according to Hera he used his ghost energy for. I recount all of this information to the girl who only giggles.
Are you understand now? Big Brother is really amazing.
Hera, it all felt so real. How can they be a ghost?
It is real, silly. You can see him and talk to him. I wish I can do that.
What do you mean?
I talk and talk and talk. But he never listens.
He can't hear or see me. You're the only one who can talk to us. A searing pain slices through my heart. From the letter I read, it seemed like Deimos, had a strong bond with Hera. It must have been lonely being here by himself for so long. No wonder he was determined to get me to come inside the manor with him. He needed me to help him find the truth, because he couldn't do it himself. Are we still in the orphanage, Hera? Yes. Big Bro spends a lot of energy trying to make it look like it did when we lived here. It also explains why the images for the kitchen and the other rooms are like different. The pictures when it is taken. Okay. That's what Deimos must have meant when he said he cleaned up the bedrooms. Deimos made sure the orphanage didn't have any of the bloodstains or tattered furniture that Shokora was showing us. He's living in an illusion of what his life once was, and he's sharing that with me. What happens when he runs out of energy? He disappears.
Where would he go, Hera?
I hope by the tears that are fighting to spill out of my eyes. Ghost or not, Day and I formed a close relationship, and I need to make sure that he's okay. And at the very least, he deserves my gratitude for saving my life. I don't know. This has never happened before. Hera's words, spoken in a small voice, rattle me. Sometimes he goes around town and takes things, like clothes and stuff, or he'll bother the robots, but he always comes back. I don't even feel him here anymore. Suddenly realizing the situation, Hera's voice grumbles. She's scared of losing her older brother again.
Can you look for my big bro?
Please, Delphine, you have to help him. I can't leave this place like you and him. I'm stuck. I'll try my best. Thank you. I don't know what I'll do without him. Even though you can't speak to him? Knowing he is here is enough. With him gone, I'll be all alone again like I was before I came to the orphanage. An unmistakable pain settles on my heart. Deimos is her whole world, even in death. I imagine Deimos feels the same way. I know what I have to do. Hera is stuck here because she won't leave without her brother, and Deimos can't leave because he has some kind of unfinished business he needs to take care of. I have to finish the investigation. Where's my drone? Still in the secret room, but it's dangerous. You have to go home. But what about Deimos? If he's recharging, you should do. She's right.
I'm going to go home now, Hera. Will you be alright?
I think so. Please come back, Deli. My big bro. I haven't seen him smile in a really long time. I promise I will be here tomorrow. Stay out of trouble, okay? I hear her giggle. I haven't heard that in a really long time. How horrible it must have been for the girl to spend decades trapped, watching her brother but never being able to communicate with him. I have to make this right for both of them. Hera and I say our goodbyes. I leave the manor with little difficulty thanks to my new ghost ball. Unfortunately, that's the only easy thing about my departure. There are so many overwhelming feelings that I can't seem to fight my way through. I am filled with dread as I think of Deimos. Where has he gone? Will he ever return? We were so close to solving the mystery of what happened at the Little Voices orphanage, but I'm afraid that Deimos might never fulfill his goals and cross over. There's a bit of anxiety in my stomach as well. What are Deimos' real intentions? What's his unfinished business in the manor? I'm sure he didn't tell me why he was really there. or the full story at least. Then there's an insurmountable sorrow as my illusion comes crashing down around me. The man I was beginning to fall in love with isn't alive. How can I even begin to process that? I had daydreams about day and night holding hands as we walked through an aquarium together. We were going to watch the dolphin show together, eat delicious overripe fried fruit, and talk about all interests. None of that is possible. Why would Deimos lead me on if he knew a relationship between the two of us could never happen? There is an emptiness that has settled in my heart at the prospect of never seeing Day again. I can't keep him here. He needs to move on to a place where I can't follow. That hurts the most of all. My heart hurts and I don't know what to do about it. For now, I'm Justin and Hera and her story. I'll return to the manor tomorrow to see if Day has returned. Last night I was battling with a restless sleep. I kept tossing and turning every few hours as Hera's words echoed in my mind. I was hoping that when I woke up, it would all be a dream induced by the inhalation of too much gas. But other than a broken heart, my body feels fine. A yawn escapes my lips. As much as I would like to stay in bed this morning, it isn't an option. I need to go back to the Otome manor. When I slide my feet over to the side of the bed, I kick something and nearly fall forward.
Huh?
Shokora! On the ground by the foot of my bed is my drone. It looks a little worse for wear, but still intact. As I kneel down to pick it up, the lights flash on and Shokora floats by my side.
User 2 has a message for Delphine. Open it.
User 2? That's from D. Yes, of course I want to open it. I clamp my hands together, leaning slightly forward with anticipation to see what he has to say. Whatever it is, good or bad, I want to hear his voice even if for one last time. When Shokora plays the message, my heart begins to swell. It's a mixture of feelings I can't quite describe, as I hear Day's voice coming from the speakers. Delphine, I hope you're okay. When I got back from trying to get help, I saw that you were gone. I looked everywhere for you, but it only makes sense that you'll be home where you belong. I can feel the tears welling up in my eyes. Is this really where I belong? It feels empty knowing that Day can't be here with me. I'm sorry for leaving, but in the state that I was in, I couldn't do much more to protect you. I'm glad that you're safe. I had Shokora take pictures of the documents that were in the secret room. Well, the ones that looked important anyway. You'll never guess what we found. A patent for Technia Incorporated signed by Mr. Artino. This means something huge. I think that Artino used the money he extorted from Harkin to fund his business. Dirty money, gained legally, is still dirty in the eyes of the public. This is the break that I need to shed light on the actions of Technia Inc. and show people that their company was built upon lies and deceit. Because all along the two of us knew the ending our journey would have, regardless of Day's mortality.
If I solve the mystery, then our adventure would be over.
This time, for good, I'll never see Day again. There is another message. Shall I play it? Yes, please. Keep going. I trust in you to do whatever you think is right with this information. Unfortunately, I erased the footage from Shokora for everyone's safety. Investigating almost got you caught, and I'll always be sorry for that. I was the one who told you not to call for help the minute we found the skeleton.
I'm not sure if we'll ever meet again. But the time I spent
I haven't felt so alive in a long time. But this is the end. It has to be. You deserve a better goodbye, but I don't have the courage to tell you to your face. I'm sorry. I guess my closing note is a thank you. You truly are one of a kind, little dolphin. Keep doing what you're doing and use your voice for good.
The rest of his message is cut off. I reached up and wiped the tears from my eyes as they began to stain my cheeks. Deimos is telling me to move on and live my life without him. In my heart, I know that I have to. There's no other choice. While Deimos has pieced together most of the puzzle, there are still a few details I'm not sure about. The investigation isn't over. I stretched my arms over my head and sat at my computer desk. I showed my father a text telling him I'm not feeling well enough to come to the office today, and spent the next few hours typing away. I search one thing after another. I try in all keywords that come to mind. Most of the articles are similar. They speak of an ill young man who killed everyone in the orphanage because he was jealous that a girl he had come to throw affections for was being adopted. One article in the bunch is slightly different. At the bottom of the web page, it says that because of the nature of the crime and the age of the victims, the man's name was not released to the public. Reading on further, I find out that of the many who died at the orphanage, none of them were identified publicly out of respect to the victims. There was not so much as an investigation of the matter all hidden in the guise of mourning. A proper police search would have found Harkin's body. But why didn't they search? Where was the foul play? I typed Geno Otino into the search bar, and several different sources come up. There are pictures of him shaking hands with city councilmen, holding the keys to his manor, and even speaking publicly to a group of protesters. It seems he was deeply involved with the political climate of interstate at this time. Perhaps that was how he got away with everything, and how his descendants are able to operate in the old abandoned manor with the mayor's support. But knowing that Artino caused this whole mess isn't enough for me. If I want to expose him, I need to tell the story of the people whose lives he ruined for money. Shokora, can you search Deimos followed by Little Voice Orphanage and send the results to my computer?
Certainly.
One moment, Miss Karas. Miss Karas, that chose me from my tongue. The reprogramming I did earlier is gone, at least with my name. I'm no longer being referred to as Delphine.
There seems to be no record of that name.
Okay, how about student records in general for the orphanage? One moment, please. There seems to be no record file. No, of course not. Can you search City Hall records specifically? There seems to be no record file. The orphanage must not have been registered officially. Otherwise, there would be records of the kids and the staff who reside there. It was a force from the beginning. How do I feel the very beginning? How do I tell Deimos that the place that was supposed to care for abandoned kids only operated as a means for Altino for profit? Perhaps at the end of the day, Harkin really believed she was doing the right thing and tried to create a place to care for the orphan kids. I can't make that judgment, but I can say there were other, more effective ways to go about it. I have to go back to the orphanage and discuss this with Deimos, whether he wants to see me or not. I made a promise to a little girl, and I don't intend to break it. It's time to sneak back into the manor, I mean. Getting inside of the manor in the morning is a lot easier than at night. All I had to do was pretend I was doing a delivery nearby, take an accidental wrong turn, and then walk right into the base. The security guards and drones are nowhere to be found, intentionally, or perhaps help from a friend. Though, that all goes to win when I call out into the empty halls. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. No matter how much I call for Hera and Davos, neither of them show up. The halls I find myself in are nothing like the sights from the night before. There are blood splatters on the walls, floors, and doors. The scones on the walls are cracked, some more than others. This doesn't look anything like the scene of a gas attack at all. If they had just allowed me to see this yesterday. I shuddered at the thought. I don't think it would have been an easy thing for either of us to handle. Whatever happened in these worlds was violent and gruesome. Seeing this, I can't believe that Harkin was trying to hide away from the massacre. I wrapped my arms around my chest. The only thing that was cleaned up were the bodies, and I suppose that's to keep the public from finding out about the illegal operation of the orphanage. The people who died here deserve so much more than what they got. I wish there was a way to make it right for all of them. My heart lunges. It's no wonder Deimos lives in an illusion of what once was. This is horrifying. But he has to face the truth if he wants to be able to make peace. At least, for Hera's sake.
Deimos, you better show yourself!
I shout into the hall as loudly as I can. There's no response. I have to keep trying. I know the truth about this place. I know the truth about you. Which one? Which one is it? Let's save. And let's focus on Deimos for now because I guess we could technically say the truth about this place, but still a lot of mysteries of what happened. So it's not technically a full truth. But one thing for sure, we know he is a ghost. So that's one truth. I know the truth about you. I shout into the void once again. Apprehension filled my gut. I could get caught here by any member of the interstice community and shunned. My family's business could be ruined. And yet, I don't care. My only goal is to get Deimos to come back.
You're back!
Oh, hello, Hera. My hand flies up to my heart as I take a step backwards. Hera, you scared me. Hey, I'm not scary.
I may be dead, but I still have feelings.
Yeah, the dead have feelings too. Oh dear. I should not laugh at this, but what was that mean? No? Never mind.
I can feel a blush creeping on my cheeks. I didn't mean it like that. I wasn't expecting someone to answer. Anyone. That little girl giggles. I know, I was only joking. I'm glad you came back, Delphine. I really thought you weren't going to come back when you heard Big Bro's message. I was yelling at him to stop recording it, but he couldn't hear me. He never hears me. Despite her agonizing voice, Hera's voice doesn't damper. She's still as joyous as ever.
Oh, but he can hear you. I know he's listening.
I've called out to him, but he hasn't responded. I mean, in his heart.
What? Okay.
I imagine if she was standing in front of me, she'll have her hand over her heart. You still think Dave wants me in his heart? You know the answer to that, Deli. Deimos doesn't harbor any ill will towards me. He's pushing me away because he feels like he has to. But that's not the only way out of this. I need to talk to him. Do you know where he is?
He's in my room. Oh, but please be careful. It looks different. They must commit things ready again till he has all his energy back.
It's okay. I think it's about time I see this place for what it is.
It's a mess, but don't be scared.
I'm not scared with you and they around.
Well, good. You don't have to be.
A silence fills the room and I wonder if Hera has left me to my own devices. After a moment, she speaks up in a small timid voice.
It didn't hurt, you know. Huh?
Dying, I didn't see it or feel it. It just happened.
That's good to know. At least she didn't suffer.
Hey, but I don't think Dave feels the same way. Sometimes he looks very sad. He couldn't save me, but I know he would have tried.
What's wrong? You look sad.
I feel really sad when I think about Deimos. He's a good person, but really bad things have happened. I wish that I could take all the pain away and make things better.
You can, can't you?
I'm going to try, Hera. I really am.
Thank you.
I walk forward towards the young girl's room, step by step, until I finally reach the room in question. I take in a deep breath, stealing my nerves for when I come face to face with Day once again. When I enter the room, it's as bad as Hera has warned me about. The blood splatter on the walls looks like it has dripped out onto the pillows of the bed and onto the old stand rug. Okay, let's check it out. Woo, boy! Well, at least the bed looks great. The bed isn't, and the walls isn't. What has happened though? The splatter. The rest of the furniture looks untouched. When everything happened, Hera must have been sound asleep. At the very least, she didn't have to suffer. Though, I'm certain that the world didn't get to experience her brightness. I have a little question about this. Like, if we consider that she died because of a gas, then what does it mean for the blood splatter on the wall and on the bed?
I told you not to come back.
Deimos' voice, an unusually raspy and bitter tone, shatters me from my thoughts. I see him sitting on the ground with his legs pulled up to his chest. When we locked eyes, I noticed the buffiness beneath them. He bares his teeth to me in a snarl, as if I'm the enemy. I couldn't do that. Our investigation wasn't over, and we'd make a promise to finish it together. I gave you all you need to expose Technia. Your transport drones are as good as gone once that information goes public. I didn't hold up my end of the bargain yet. I told you we'll figure out what happened here together, as User 1 and User 2. That's not what this is anymore. You depleting things from Shokora doesn't mean the events didn't happen. I walk in carefully, one foot after the other, afraid to disturb the gruesome scene. Kinda rude assuming I'll just leave things alone after all we've been through. It was one night, Delphine. It felt like a lifetime. You felt it too, didn't you, Deimos? His body grows rigid when I call him by his full name. Don't call me that. The only person who was allowed to is gone, so there's no reason I should be hearing it anymore. Cautiously, I take a seat beside Day, who doesn't move even an inch. You mean Hera? Deimos watches me curiously, but he doesn't say a word. I don't think he really knows what to say. The charade is up.
I know who you really are.
What are you trying to say, Delphine?
You should have just told me from the beginning that you were a ghost.
I'm not a ghost.
Please stop lying to me. You've got a strong connection to this space, and you can't hide it from me anymore.
Fine, you're right. But would you really have gone forward with me if I told you who I really was?
Maybe. We'll never know now. Deimos hugs his legs tightly, but turns his head so that he can get a good look at me.
You were the first person to see me. We were able to communicate. After decades of roaming around interstices, there was finally someone who could hear me. But you don't see it that way. You're mad.
I can feel my hands shaking at my side. I want to be understanding of Deimos, but it hurts knowing that no matter how much time passed and how much closer we got, he never trusted me with the truth.
I see it in your eyes. You think I'm a monster just like everyone else.
Why would I think you're a monster?
Because I'm the one who gets blamed for killing everyone here.
You're the jealous boy.
The one who supposedly got so angry at Hera getting an adoption offer that went on a murdering spree. That's how I'm gone down in history, the faceless assailant.
Dave pulls his hands into his fists at his side, extending his legs outward. I can see angry tears foaming at the corner of his eyes.
Why would I do that? I wanted Hera to get adopted and escape the hellhole I was living in. I loved the orphanage, but I was never treated like I belonged, even after 23 years of living here. I was the weird kid that aged out of the system. I had to beg Hagen to let me stay, because I had nowhere else to go. I wanted Hera to have a family that could love and care for her more than I could. Instead, look what happened.
Ardino sent someone here to kill the residents of the orphanage in order to create a scandal that he could sue Hagen for. I fill in the blank for him. This place wasn't operating legally there. Do you know that?
They nods his head. I suspected as much when we couldn't find any paperwork. It all just makes me so mad. That filthy animal took the lives of so many people for money. Seeing the company his family has built at the expense of mine is disgusting. I want Technia gone just as much as you do. So, why are you here instead of sharing the information with the world?
I've got the gist of it, but there are a few things I don't quite understand yet.
You want to know exactly what happened on the day of the murder, don't you?
Yes, I feel like I'm missing something. Deimos is silent for a few moments before he finally nods his head.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm okay.
He takes a moment to collect his thoughts.
It was dinner time when I came downstairs to the kitchen to have the other staff cook. Can you guess what was on the menu?
Noodles.
Yeah, noodles. We were in the middle of cooking them when we heard a strange noise. It was like a banging sound. Someone has gotten into the manor with relatively no opposition. It all happened so fast. All I can really remember beyond that are the gunshots. They made a finger gun with his right hand and arms set forward, as if imitating what he had seen. Right in front of me, people I had grown up with were dying. But at the same time, I only had one thing on my mind, and it was getting Hera to safety. I ran upstairs to check on her, but one of the guys chased after me. I knew that around this time she would be taking her midday nap, so I led the attacker to my room instead.
That's the one with the balcony. You know, where...
Oh wait, wrong voice.
That's the one with the balcony, you know, where the letter was. Hearing Deimos recall this tale is painful. Imagining him having to deal with this on a day when he was only trying to do his job. It's almost too much. Yet, Deimos looks on at me with a great face.
Bad guys follow me into the room and onto the balcony.
The dent on the balcony. I cry out in realization. We did say there looked like there was a struggle.
There was a struggle. I tried to grab the man's gun, but I couldn't. He shot me, and I'm pretty sure my body toppled over the balcony.
This is where Delmos rose silent, shaking his head.
I couldn't save her, or any of them.
But you tried. That means something.
I know. I keep telling myself that, but then I see this.
Emotions to the room were setting in. A tear setting idly in his left eye.
I wasn't a good enough older brother to Hera.
I opened my mouth to argue, but he holds his hand up as if to tell me not to waste my breath.
It was a long time ago. I came to terms with it already. The only thing I really wanted to know was who ordered the attack, and you gave that information to me. But now that you have the full story, I need you to go and tell it to the world. You're wasting time by sitting here with me.
I can't leave yet. Hera asked me to talk to you. She thinks that I can help you break from the chains that are keeping you here.
Dave's eyes widen and he shakes his head from left to right. That's impossible. Hera can't be here. She's crossed over. I'm the only one left.
No, she refuses to leave without you. She's stuck here, same as you.
Hera would have told me she was here.
She would, if she could. She says she talks to you, but you can't hear her. Please, believe me.
I know you wouldn't lie to me.
She doesn't blame you for anything, and it was her choice to stick around. She says you're her whole life, and she wouldn't want to go anywhere without you.
Dave wraps the loose fabric of his pants and squeezes it so tightly his knuckles begin to turn white. The tears that threatened to spill out before are now waterfalls down his red cheeks. I want her to let go of me and go into the light. There's no reason she should suffer because of me.
Oh,
poor boy.
I don't think she's suffering, Dave. Even though the two of you can't communicate, she still considers watching you as spending time together. You were still making memories together as brother and sister.
Is she here?
Not right now, no.
I never want her to see me like this. I'm supposed to be the strong one.
You are strong, Deimos. You've endured so much, and you keep fighting.
He wipes his cheeks with the back of his gloved hand.
I appreciate the misguided sentiment, but didn't I tell you to stop calling me by my full name? I hate it. I was brought to the orphanage as a baby after my parents died. Apparently, I'm told my mother died giving birth to me, and my father was so distraught he killed himself. I was a murderer before the age of 1. That's why Harken called me Deimos, the god of dread and terror. You don't tell me it's not true. I've come to terms with the way I view my parents' death, but I didn't like that other people got to make fun of me because of it.
Do you want to talk more about it?
You want to hear all the boring details?
I want to hear whatever you want to tell me, Day. I still care a lot about you. It doesn't matter to me if you're a ghost. I guess I was just mad that we can't be what I wanted us to be.
I should have put a stop to it before it got too far. I wasn't expecting to enjoy spending time with you so much. And before I knew it, the whole night has passed. You make me feel, as cheesy as this is,
Alive?
yeah. You treated me like a regular person that I wanted to retain for a little bit. I knew it wouldn't last in the end, but I got caught up in the moment. In another life, I would have loved to taken you out somewhere fun. Had naps, danced together, ate ice cream. Never been on a real date before, you know. Especially not with someone like you.
Who would someone like me be, Day?
Someone out of my league. You're gorgeous. But that's not what attracted me to you. You're funny and full of life. You also care a lot about your family and justice. Those two things are very important to me.
He shakes his head, as if dispelling the idea from his head.
It's better this way, anyway. Even if we were alive during the same time, I'm not the kind of guy you write to home about.
I would disagree.
Because you only know part of the story. You got to see the fun, carefree day last night. Deimos is the kid who stayed up all night crying because none of the other kids liked him. He was the one who had to learn how to charm adults to get what he wanted, because people wouldn't bat an eyelash otherwise. He was the one who snuck into Harkin's office and took a coffee to try and dye his hair a normal color the other kids wouldn't make fun of. It looks like the memories leave a bitter aftertaste on his tongue.
That explains the warm coffee in her office.
Yeah, I tried to keep this place how I remembered it. Nobody wants to see all of this blood right now. I don't have enough energy to hide what happened to me.
Thank you for using your energy to save me. Hera told me that it took a lot. She was afraid you were going to disappear because of it.
I told you that I would protect you. I wasn't going to break that promise. You deserve to live a long life. It meant a lot to me, Delphine. I'm sorry for what I said earlier. It did feel like a lifetime. That's why it hurts so much right now. I have to let you go. Just because I'm stuck here doesn't mean that you have to be as well.
You don't have to be stuck here, Day. I want to help you and Hera leave this place.
You are the delivery girl after all.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
You're trying to deliver me and Hera to the other side. It's sweet of you.
The two of you deserve to be happy. This torture can't go on forever. I won't allow it.
It means everything to me that you're going to try. But you know it's not going to be that simple, right? I have a lot of things I need to work out before I think I can cross over. One of them is the girl sitting beside me who I'm utterly in love with. You made me get attached, and that was never supposed to happen. I know this is something I'm going to have to get over, but it won't be easy.
I love you too. I blurt out the words that I have been holding close to my heart since I got to the manor today. It feels like we've known each other for a lifetime, Day. You're someone I don't want to lose.
I want this to be a thing as much as you do, but it's not possible.
Everything is possible.
If you believe it. Just kidding. I mean, it would be great if it's a good ending, but if there's a more reasonable ending, it'd be fun too. I mean, they have fun. But I say their heart might not be able to take it. Their heartache. Time will solve everything. Not in this case. I'm a ghost of it.
You deserve someone who can put their arm around you, take you out on date nights, and who you can introduce to your family. No matter how hard we wish for that, it will never happen.
I know in my heart that he's right, and it would be selfish of me to keep him here when Hera is relying on him. What now?
Can you sit with me for a little longer?
I nod my head at his innocent smile. There's a look of pain in his eyes that I'm sure are mirrored in mine. I shut my eyes and imagine that Dave has wrapped his arm around me and pulled me closer. It almost feels real.
I don't know what this means for us, but I don't want you to get your hopes up.
It's just another little adventure between the two of us. We know that this will have to end eventually, but it doesn't mean that we can't enjoy the moments we have together until it's all over.
If things were different, I'll take you out on all the amazing dates I could think of, and we'll be the cutest couple walking down the streets of Interstice.
Maybe things can be different one day.
Maybe. There's a hopeful sentiment in the air as the two of us sit silently, our breaths filling the room. I'm not sure how many days I spent at the Otome mansion after that, but it was quite a bit. I visited frequently to help Hera and Deimos talk to each other. They had a lot of unspoken feelings they needed to share. I decided to expose Otome's crimes in a video, and I cleared Deimos' name. Technia Incorporated was dealt a huge blow, and they were forced out of Interstice, leaving the Karas family monopoly untouched. Things didn't end there though. The current Otome Jam decided to renovate their manor and created a community center for people to host town meetings, organize charities, and more. Deimos and Hera felt less comfortable there, and they often struggled to me. It was great to see Deimos has taught his little sister how to use her energy to move about Interstice. We all spent time talking and laughing in my room as we watched my own online videos. I even taught him and Hera about all of the new trends and memes. Deimos would sometimes follow me on my delivery runs and pull ranks. It was a lot of fun, and soon the siblings had become part of my daily routine. I loved spending time with them, but I was falling more and more in love with Deimos. The mutual feelings were never something the two of us could act on. The adventure has to end eventually, and one day, Deimos and Hera had stopped showing up altogether. I had spent many nights alone wishing for them to reappear, but eventually I came to terms with their passing into the light. I was able to meet a man who has loved me dearly and given me something Deimos never could, Jiren. Though, as I stand at the riverbank of the Styx, my adventure on Earth finally complete. It's not my husband I see standing there with open arms. It's Deimos and Hera.
It's about time you showed up, Delphi! We've been waiting ages!
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's a big clap! This is kind of considered a good ending, but I kind of feel kind of bad for her husband at the same time. But then it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
The young girl turns around, clutching her white dress as the hems as she does so. Deimos chuckles and beckons for me to join them.
I didn't mind waiting for you, so long as you were having fun.
I did have a good time, but I'm finally ready for those dates you promised me.
You had decades to plan, so they better be good.
We've got an eternity to make new memories and love in. So I hope you're ready.
So I hope you're ready.
Yay! I can't wait! I get to come on the stage too, right?
Some of them.
Only some of them? So fair.
What? You wanted to watch us do this the entire time?
Deimos slings his arms around my waist and pulls me close to him. There's a mischievous look on his face, and I know what's about to happen. I've been waiting decades for this moment. The two of us share a kiss that I know won't be our last. An eternal peace finally resting over the two of us.
Oh my god! That's so beautiful!
There looks like gods rather than souls. It looks like gods instead. Like, look at that shining stuff. Is that a halo? It looks like a halo. Like behind the hands. It's so beautiful. Like, I had expected a halo, like a normal round shaped halo like Angels does, but this is much better. Look at all the pretty stuff. The scenery, the background, the kiss, the tears. Everything looks so beautiful. Yes. The end. True love. Yes, you know it's true love when they see each other at the end of their life. Yeah, waiting for each other until the end. I hope they stay together forever. This literally means staying forever together. Unless they are reincarnated. But I'm not sure if they have a reincarnation in this place, in this world. Okay. Do we have a... Yep, that should be the end. And I will look at the credits. As you can see, the reductions, right? GUI art, programming, voice audio editing, script editing, voice casting, Delphine. Nice. And more credits in the downloads. As you, I can, I will check later. Oh, that's a short credit. I like it. And that should be the end of our playthrough for Delphine's Discovery. Delphine's Discovery was a mystery adventure between two people who was trying to find mysteries about a mansion that was part of a crime scene years ago that has not been uncovered to the world, and they want the real truth. In the process, they found love and found the truth. Despite the pain the truth brings, they faced it and showed it together to the world. It was a whirlwind romance matched with gradual romance. A hint of attractions at first, before it develops to something more and more as, along with friendship, family, all feelings. It was the two of them were not meant to be in the end, as in their human lives. But at the end of the journey, where their souls left the body to come to the light, both of them reunited again in another lane. And maybe, just maybe, it was true love, and they lived happily ever after. After finishing the game, I do enjoy their story and their experience it brings. Their story was fine. I loved their interaction between their own main characters. The banter, their little teasing and flirting and joking with each other. It kind of reminds me of those characters from a cartoon animation that I have watched. Miraculous Ladybug, maybe Catnor, Chatnor, and Ladybug. It feels kind of like that. I love their character designs between all main characters. Their colors are blue and pink. It's not often that I see a light pink color on a male character's look, but he is rocking it. And the all main female protagonist is rocking their blue color too, so it's really nice. I especially love their lighter color on both of the hair. It's like a radiant. I can't comment much on their fashion sense, but it looks really good. Cute for Delphine, cute and mysterious, like a detective, a cute detective. And casual and cool hip-hop style for days. And a bit of cute, especially on their logo on the shirt. Bunnies, I believe. In the process, the game provides a great choice in music. It's simple, it's nothing very detailed, but it fits their story. The voice, kind of like audio editing for everyone's voice was good. The voices suits the text that they show, so it's fine. They also provide partial voice acting, so that's really nice. I thought it would be great if there is more voices. Like, I do love to hear more voice acting for the characters, but I understand if there are any constraints. Then because I feels like sometimes the voice that appears sometimes is not very consistent. It feels kind of random. Like sometimes there are voices in special important scenes, which is understandable. But sometimes there's some scene that I don't understand why there is voices there, or maybe I'm just missing something, or that there is not enough voice in that situation. For example, one person who has voice, but for example, there was one scene where Day has his voice saying something very dramatic, very nice, but then Delphine did not have her own voice in that scene. So I was not sure if that scene was important or not, in a sense. Maybe it was just my opinion. Maybe there was something more. I don't know. So that was I thought about the voice editing. But either way, I love the voice acting, and their voices were really nice. And last but not least, their game mechanics. So the gameplay is very simple. It's mostly point and click. I don't believe there is a required turn order to click for investigation. But yeah, so that makes everything really simple. It's just I guess it is fine. But if it would be great for more gameplay if their producer, their game developer are interested in more detailed mysteries gameplay. I can't say I can suggest any good ideas for it, but usually we have these point and click, and then we get some hints in their littleness or something like that. And maybe there's a gameplay where they talk to each other and provide hints, provide notes, sharing notes, trying to logical stuff with each other, maybe like you know, like those like fitness sprite games or something. But I'm just throwing that out. But I think the simple point and clicks also works in a sense. Yeah, there's not much I can comment on the gameplay. I think it works, and that is fine. So overall, this is the end of our journey through Delphine's Discovery. I managed to get their happy ending. Well, the true ending? Wait, happy end. I mean happy end. My bad. Of a true love, which is great. I love the CG, as you can see. And I'm looking forward to playing any potential new games that the game developer will release next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on our next gameplay. Bye bye!